Call the RDC meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Sonia, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Lack,
Here.
Commissioner Zilli,
Here.
Commissioner Ekdahl,
Here.
Commissioner Munt,
Here.
Mayor Lynch,
Here.
Commissioner Finley is absent.
We have the approval of minutes from May 25th.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We have the payment of claims.
Make a motion to approve the claims.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the claims. Are there any questions? I see there's two different ones. There's two different ones, are they? Okay, we're okay to do all three at the same time? Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We have staff reports.
Yes, good afternoon, Mayor, Commissioners. I wanted to bring you up to speed on a few projects that you've been sponsoring over the years. The first is the Marquette Greenway Trail, the National Park Service segment over Salt Creek. We did hold a ribbon cutting on Wednesday, June 7th. The event was well attended. Sonia and I were talking earlier, we think there were upwards of 50 people there joining us in the celebration and the opening of the trail. Following the event, I joined representatives from the state's Next Level Trails program, general contractor and engineer for a site visit to take a look at the project overall, and we will start working with the state of Indiana on closeout documents for that grant project. Central Avenue West, Phase 1A, Dunnet Bay is closed Central Avenue between Swanson Road and Willowdale Road and has started work. Central Avenue West, Phase 1B, design and right-of-way acquisition continues, and bid letting is still anticipated for FY 2024 in January. Open Air Pavilion, Craftsman Community Makers Lab of Indiana, Inc. Work continues. This is something I brought up last month. Mr. Williams and I thought that last month Tom Kuhn would be ready to assist in helping us with a presentation for that space. He was unable to get the work done, so we will continue to provide that information to Mr. Kuhn and wait for his report on the open air pavilion. The Marquette Greenway Trail, this is the project. This is the federal RAISE grant that was received by NERC a couple years ago. It builds the remaining segments of the Marquette Greenway Trail in Portage, excluding the trail segments within the boundary of the national park. We met on Thursday, June 1st with their project managers to walk the site and walk the alignment through Portage, and are currently in process of scheduling a follow-up meeting to review the findings of the walkthrough and to talk about next steps. And last project I'd like to report on this afternoon is the Portage Library Garden project. The department is working with Attorney Witten and the contractor, Hassey Construction, to finalize contracting. And Mayor Lynch's office is coordinating with project partners and dignitaries to schedule a groundbreaking ceremony. And as soon as more of those details are put together, we'll make sure that that information is shared with the commission. That concludes my report. With us this afternoon, we have Bill Rathjen with Macaulay Bennett, who would like to provide a brief report on ongoing work in the realm of real estate.
Good afternoon, Commissioners, Mayor.
Good afternoon.
Just a couple updates, if I could. We have a current purchase order that we're working through for the Founder Square lot. I've been advised by the buyer's agent that they have hired an architect and a contractor to start working through some design issues there. So we should start seeing some of those due diligence items probably in early July, according to them. 6100 Southport, we are still working through some lease renewal issues. And AJ and I have been in contact with a few of those. We have till the end of the year to get that lease renewed. Marine Drive, we're working through some time issues, just trying to get some things done on it. It's not a high priority. It's a net zero project for the city. So it's kind of at the bottom as far as the priority list. Our biggest issue, Northside Properties, we've had a lot of interest from a lot of different sources lately. The Northwest Indiana Forum and Portage EDC have been instrumental in bringing a couple of the national clients to look at the properties. So we'd like to thank them for their participation in that, and hopefully we can work out a few of them. We need to look towards the week of July 10th for an approximately 4-hour meeting, executive board meeting, to review proposals that are coming in. So we'll be putting a request together to all the commissioners for that week, if we can get a time frame, Sonia, if we can just kind of get a time frame in there. It'd be about a 4-hour meeting for all the presentations by the developers. They will be presenting to you. And it will also give you an opportunity to answer some questions to them. And the last item is a Central Avenue lot across from City Hall here. This week, I've had 2 national site selectors contact me that are showing some interest in that lot too. So nothing firm or anything that can be disclosed at the moment, but that's a good sign that they have some pretty good national clients that are considering it. And finally, I left on your table EDC Network Night. We would encourage all of you to attend that and bring family, friends, whoever you need to bring with it. It'd be a great night. Any questions for me from the board? I'd be happy to take.
Bill, on the north side for the week of the July 10th presentations,
Yes.
how does, I guess AJ can speak on it too, how does, like, the TOD not being resolved, how does all of that impact us as far as if someone makes a presentation and we like it, how does all of that work together?
From my point of view, it's going to be a contingency in any proposal, as would a TIF, similar to a TIF situation, that will have to be addressed during the due diligence. So once we get a developer on board, let's say we make a selection during this time frame. Once we get that developer on board, he's going to help drive that determination with the TOD, what's going to happen, and who's going to be voting or supplying what. It will be a contingency in any offer. So.
And the only thing I would add to that is, in talking with representatives of the RDA as the Transit Development District and taking the next steps are to be occurring over the course of the next 6 months. That leaves a lot of unresolved questions that I think will have to be evaluated during the due diligence period. Knowing this commission's familiarity with a TIF deal, a TIF district, and a TIF deal, that's kind of the same idea behind a transit development district, only with a few more things at its disposal in terms of what it's capturing as increment. And it's unclear right now as to what the transit development district could do in terms of bringing incentives to the table for any one of these developers. I know in talking preliminarily with Bill, all of them are aware that that is a tool that's going to be available. The RDA understands that we continue to talk with these groups, so that they know that, you know, some of this needs to shake loose. The next big step here at the commission would be seeing the memorandum of agreement that the Northwest Indiana Regional Development Authority would be sending to us for consideration, and we're not there yet. There's been some preliminary drafts of that agreement that's circulated, but again, that's just more form. The details of what the details haven't been worked out, and we are not, I haven't seen it yet, so it hasn't been presented to the city and for consideration of the commission.
There's nothing to preclude us if there's a home run presentation from entering into an agreement that during the due diligence that everything will be worked out.
Yeah, keeping in mind the size of these projects that we're talking about here on the north side, they're going to be a 6, 12, maybe even an 18-month due diligence period. So we have time.
And the short answer is no. I mean, we can certainly proceed as Bill has indicated with clearly laid out contingencies forward with any particular suitor if we find one that we really like.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. So are you working with Norma and Sonia's working to get those dates?
Yes.
Because the calendar go berserk quickly, so we need to make sure
That's
that,
why I brought it up today, then we'll get it out quickly to see what kind of window we can get and
okay,
get it in everybody's schedule.
okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, I don't believe we have any old business. We have new business, the adoption of the amended declaratory resolution, creation of the Southport Allocation Area Number 2.
Yes, Mayor Lynch with us this afternoon is Carl Sunder with Senator Dalton. Carl has been working closely with Attorney Witten and I to prepare this resolution and the attached proposed timetable. Carl, if you could offer a brief presentation to the commission, please.
Sure. This is really kind of the first step in creating a new allocation area for the Dayton Street Partners project. And so the parcels that are being contemplated for this are already in the existing Southport allocation area, the city's original TIF district. And so this is amending that area to pull out those, I think it's 3 parcels, and to create a brand-new one. And so we do it through this resolution as the first step. This is the beginning step. If you approve this today, this will then will go before the Plan Commission, and they will review to make sure it's not changing anything with the city's comprehensive plan. And then from there, it goes to the City Council for confirming the Plan Commission's findings, and then back to your August meeting, I believe August 24th, we'll have a public hearing before we can create this area, and then a confirmatory resolution to establish the area, and then we can proceed then with the financing through economic development revenue bonds with a TIF pledge to support their project, and I believe that's kind of the direction you indicated at your last meeting. So that's it in a nutshell. There is the parcels are listed on Exhibit A, and then there's a map of the area that we're proposing to create as allocation area number 2. So happy to answer any questions.
So what action do we need to take on this today?
To approve the declaratory. Yep.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Dan, do you have anything you want to add to that?
I don't think so, Madam Mayor. We've had some meetings amongst ourselves, AJ and Carl and myself, and then we also had a meeting with Dayton Street, with them and their representatives over the phone, kind of walk through this a little bit. I'm tightening up a few sort of loose end questions that they have, but I don't see anything earth shattering. I would recommend, since this board has already indicated its support of this project, I would recommend that you approve this resolution so that we can move it forward in the process.
Okay, AJ, did you have anything else to add to that? Okay. So we have a motion and a second. Sonia, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Lack,
Yes.
Commissioner Zilli,
Yes.
Commissioner Ekdahl,
Yes.
Commissioner Munt,
Yes.
Mayor Lynch.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for all that data, Carl. So we have the award of the Gilbert Park landscaping, which looks absolutely lovely, I might add. Diane, did you want to bring that up?
Excellently lovely.
It looks very nice.
Well, I wish I could take more credit, but the reason why it looks so nice is because we did have to outsource some help. We are still limited on staff, and they're a little under-trained, so we did outsource that to the landscape company that's taking care of other things in the area. So when we found out how much it was going to be, it is $7,848.16, and I did have fundraiser money from the Roof Fest, which was designated for Gilbert Park, and so there's still this remaining balance, and the mayor, knowing our budget is so tight, she thought it would be okay to ask RDC if they would like to help, since it is a city park and utilized for city events, if they would like to help shore up that remaining $5,348.16.
Is Gilbert in the allocation area, or is this going to come out of general?
This will, it's budgeted in the general fund, Fund 273, and it would come out of the landscaping.
Are they done over there, Diane?
Yes, they are done with their portion. So we're taking over, and we did just get some donations from Johnson, so we're going to plant more there, and we're going to do our own mulch, but everything that was super important, prominent, having a good kind of clean, fresh start is what we needed for us to keep up with. We still are having weed problems, so we're spraying and things like that, so.
So I noticed that there's a bush that kind of stands by itself, and that pea vine is already taking it over.
Yeah, pea vine's an issue, so.
it's
we're
terrible over there.
spraying, it's been
Yeah.
sprayed, and I'm also working with the street department to
Yeah.
see what they can do when they're there, so when their staff's there, and then our staff's there, we're going to tackle the
I have it
weed
in my
problem.
yard too, so
Yeah.
I know it's easy to pull out, but
Yeah.
it just
It
keeps
just
coming
kept-
back.
Same with the thistle, I can talk, but,
Mm-hmm.
so we're on it.
Very persistent, but the Gilbert Park looks lovely. Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve the $5,348.16.
Second.
We have motion and second. Is there any further discussion? So the only thing I wanted to ask is, are they coming back like in the fall, or are they done now? That's it? That's a
yes.
one-shot deal?
Yes.
Okay, just so everybody understands that. Okay,
Okay, thank you.
all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
It looks nice, Dave. Okay, we have the approval of the library garden construction administration.
Yes, Madam Mayor, members, before you for consideration this afternoon is a contract with Aben Marsh to provide part-time construction administrative services in relation to the construction of the recently awarded Portage Library Garden project. Their services would include approximately 10 hours of work a week and coordinating the various stakeholders in project meetings on what I believe is a pretty complicated project when you consider what is proposed in that library garden. I would ask for the commission's approval of this agreement. The agreement is in the amount of not to exceed of $42,000.
Make a motion to approve the agreement.
Second.
We have motion and a second. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. We have the approval of amendments 6 and 7 to 2023 working budget.
The first amendment before you for consideration this afternoon is something that I mentioned at last month's meeting. This is moving $200,000 from the unfunded working budget for this project, which is the Marquette Greenway Trail, to the funded line on the budget. This lines up with the interlocal agreement that you entered into or approved, that was then also approved by the Common Council at their meeting earlier this month. So this would move $200,000 of the unfunded $1.329 million to the funded line. Amendment number 7 would establish a new line in the, under the library garden project for construction administration, and it would be in the amount of $42,000 per the agreement that was just approved. It'd be staff's recommendation to approve both amendments 6 and 7.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We have the approval of the Park Department request for a movie screen.
Hello again. I was working with AJ, and there had been talks for many years, for as far as I know, about, I don't know, making it a little more, our current movie screen is up right now. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it during our free movies. It is a really large vinyl banner, white, so that you can see the screen. So there's been talks about, upscaling it, and it's also a really big setup, so we have to have our park staff out. There's bungees, so there's just been talk, so he, put it towards me to see what we could do. I had staff, and I also researched about possible pull-down screen, and logistically, it wasn't gonna work out. So, just because of warranties and damage, wind damage, things like that. So, with doing our research, our event coordinator worked with Hobart, who has a blow-up screen, and a lot of other park districts in the area also do the blow-up screen, and this is their recommendation. She went and tested it out. It works really well for everyone that has said that they, use it, and it just is going to probably be able to be used more. So currently, we use it for the free movie night. We use it for the senior advisory committees, senior movies. We even used it for the police memorial recently. So I think this screen would actually make it more available for events. So I guess that's why the park department's asking for it.
So is this just the screen, or is it
No,
a
it's the
full
whole
system?
sound system. Mhm.
Projector too? Okay.
But it's all included, this price.
Would it be moved to different parks for
Yes.
viewing? Okay.
My event coordinator even mentioned possibly using it during Haunted Hayride, which is our biggest event. So I just think with this new setup, the possibilities are a little more endless. So maybe for the veterans dinner and things like that. So this might be just more accessible for everything, and then make our already current events better. And hopefully less staff hours of putting up. Like, for right now, we're gonna have to take it down for these concerts, for the Ready to Live concerts. We're gonna have to take it down, put it back up. It was hard during the play that we just had there, Into the Woods, for the regional performing arts. So you have to move it, and it became an issue that night. So I think with this equipment, it's just gonna make it much more accessible for more things to happen at Founder Square. So the concerts and less staff set up, so I don't have to put 4 guys on it to set it up and 4 guys to take it down.
Does this come out of the equipment budget we already approved?
It would. We likely will have to make an amendment to the working budget because we have used it. We have used that line item in the budget on a few things. If the commission votes to approve this afternoon, I'll be back next month with an amendment to the budget so that we keep track of that.
I know we've talked about more substantial sound system at Founders Square. Have we looked into that any further, priced anything out?
I know I personally have met with somebody that does Valpo Parks, and he's supposed to be getting back with me with what he thinks we would need so that we could create the solicit for bids. So, but almost like can't ask till we know what we need. So I'm getting a recommendation of what we need, and then we can ask for it and go from there. It's a little bit of a slow process because you're waiting for people that are very busy in the summer to get back to you. So it's in the works. But this system would need the sound because if we're going to take it other places than Founders.
No,
so,
right, yeah. I was just asking, I know we have been talking about Founders Square being able to be used more, and a sound system we identified as like a barrier, because everybody has to bring one in order to use it,
yeah.
so.
We possibly would also just create a sound system that is more for the events that we do, and no matter what, some places, like the Ready to Live concerts are gonna have to bring in their own sound system anyway, so there's always gonna be that, in-between area.
So the sound system that you will be looking at or considering, I know that we're working with the fireworks guy because he is syncing his music to the fireworks. And last year he did, but no one could hear the music because it just couldn't project out that far. So I know that he's Have you seen what he's done? Have you, AJ? He's set up some speakers around the area, but that's kind of like not the fix we want. So when we're looking at something for founders, it needs to be able to reach out far enough that other people can hear it.
So in my meeting, they did talk about, we're gonna have to either go underground with wires, or there's gonna have to be a really good internet system, which is also conversations I've been having with Comcast this week, so there's a lot of things up in the air before anything can move forward on that.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that if we're gonna be doing that, we need to do it right, because it's ridiculous that people farther out at the festivals can't hear if we have announcements to make, or last year we had a little 4-year-old get lost. If we could have just
And I do know that
announced something, but we can't get out there far enough,
I
so.
have heard in other communities that I might be able to get a grant because it would be a safety issue, so I started that process. If I
Good for
had
you.
more hours in the day, it'd be done, but why we need 30 more hours in a day? But so we're on that's all
Good.
on my plate. I'm trying to work with AJ with getting that all done.
Yeah, I imagine there's federal emergency grants. I mean, it's a safety concern all around, so.
With the, we'll be able
There's
to
a
tell them how
storm
many
incoming,
people,
and we
yeah.
need to let everybody know, right? Yep.
Good, thanks for doing that. I mean, I know that it's something we've talked about, but we are inching forward with it, so thank you. So the movie screen, we need a motion and a second?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you, AJ.
When will we have it?
At the time of the quote, they did say a really long turnover, so I'm going to call Amy tomorrow first thing. So
Awesome.
let's get it here stat.
I don't know, maybe they pre-ordered it. No same-day delivery like Amazon? Oh.
Under other business, I believe AJ has something he would like to bring up.
You skipped one.
I did?
Oh, it's not on her.
It's not,
So, the first thing, Madam Mayor, we'd like to ask the commission to consider is resolution number 23-03. Yes, sir.
So, Madam Mayor, this is the one that we've, if I may be so bold as to enter into this one a little bit. This is the resolution that addresses Garrettton School. And as the commission is aware, we have been conducting a number of meetings with various potential partners in the use, renovation, and maybe potential long-term ownership of Garrettton School. They've been very exciting meetings, as the mayor and member Locke can attest to. A lot of very exciting possibilities there. In our most recent meeting with the potential stakeholders and partners, we thought it appropriate to put together a resolution from the commission, since we're going to be pursuing grants and other potential funding sources for this project, not the least of which, and probably the most imminent, would be the Ready 2.0 grant through the state, that it would be helpful in that grant application process to have some form of support and authorization from this commission to move forward with that grant application. So I've done my best at putting together a resolution. My draft was fantastically boring, and the mayor was kind enough to grade my work and make it more exciting and correct the grammar. So that's what you have in front of you now for consideration to kind of move forward with this.
Do we want to read it?
I think we should.
Okay.
The mayor did such a good job on it, I just think we should.
and I'm so excited about this project, and I have to say, thanks to Greg Locke, who's been working with me really closely on this, and AJ, This is something that's really something that we have been working on for our city, and it's a very exciting thing that has come before us, because everyone knows I'm a preservationist, and I don't like to see buildings torn down unless they're absolutely in the worst condition. And so we were blessed when some people came forward and approached us, and I know we took them in the building several times to tour it, and we thought that after they toured it, they might not be interested, but they were even more interested. So it's very exciting. So I'm going to read this resolution because it says what we're doing here. Whereas the City of Portage Redevelopment Commission is the owner of 2 adjacent parcels, well, this isn't it, is it? It is. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I didn't want to read the wrong thing. Located at 5894 Central Avenue, Portage, Indiana, hereafter the real estate, and whereas the real estate owned by the RDC, Redevelopment Commission, located at 5894 Central Avenue, Portage, Indiana, was previously known and operated as Garrison School, and was deeded from the Portage Township School Board of Trustees to the RDC in October of 2018. And whereas the commission has been in discussions with several potential partners for the use, renovations, and ownership of the real estate, namely the Center of Workforce Innovations, the United Way, and other potential service provider partners. Whereas the above referenced stakeholders in the partnering desire to make requests for grants and other funding sources for the renovation of the real estate, and it will therefore be necessary to execute various grant applications, which includes, amongst others, the Indiana Ready 2.0 grant. Now therefore it be resolved by the City of Portage Redevelopment Commission as follows. 1, that the commission is excited to be partnering with the Center of Workforce Innovations, the United Way, and other public service providers for the renovation, use, and ownership of the real estate located at 5894 Central Avenue, Portage, Indiana, commonly known as Garrison School. And 2, that the commission understands this partnering will provide opportunities for training and assistance to individuals desirous of improving their education and quality of life, and that the commission supports the application for grants to assist with the funding of the renovation, use, and ownership of the real estate. And 4, that the commission hereby authorizes Mayor Sue I. Lynch to execute all documents required to make application for grants, including but not limited to the Indiana Ready 2.0 grant, or in the alternative to allow one of the other reference partners to make application grant request on behalf of the commission, passed and adopted by the City of Portage Redevelopment Commission, Porter County, Indiana, this 22nd day of June 2023.
And if I could just clarify one point to that. The reason I crafted this in the alternative for the grant applications is the 2.0 grant, Ready grant, criteria was still coming down. We were still sort of waiting and exactly how we would fit in that, that process. It was unclear whether the grant application would be spearheaded in the name of the RDC as the property owner or in the name of the community hub, our potential partners. Either way, I wanted in our resolution, whichever direction. It's going to be pretty quick, I think. We're not going to have a lot of time to get back to a meeting. Things are going to happen pretty fast.
Well, and I think the commission knows that early on when we started looking at Garrison, we had someone helping us decide what to do with it, but the funding was kind of the thing that held us up and we weren't able to move forward. This is a substantial investment in that building, and it's going to change that whole building into something that's so serviceable for our community and other people that come into our community. So I'm very excited about this. This is a great opportunity. So,
And it's a lot of investment on the west side.
it's a lot of investment on the west side. The one area that we have been trying to get sidewalks and curbs, and we are working in that direction. So I'm very excited about it. So we have a motion.
Make a motion to adopt?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Any questions? If not, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And I just want to thank everybody who had anything to do with this, because we've been meeting quite frequently in an effort to keep this moving along, and we've been very dedicated to getting this done. So thank you, everyone who. It
And
was.
to be clear, these partners are very, very excited about coming into town and see our community as one that could really, really benefit from the services they provide. It could be a real game changer for our citizens. And I would applaud the mayor for bringing this partner group together, because it's a really, really awesome opportunity for our city.
It is. It's wonderful. So, all in favor, signify by saying aye. We're going to do it again.
Okay, aye.
Aye. I just want to make sure. So, okay, AJ, I know you had something to bring up. Sorry about that.
No, it's all good.
You can tell we're excited about this
I can
opportunity.
tell. I can tell. It's great. It's a lot to be excited about. This isn't quite as exciting. Yesterday, or a couple days ago, we received correspondence from a group that we had been working with for the purposes, or their purposes of acquiring a temporary constructive workspace easement. NIPSCO is performing some work on the south side of 12 in the area around the compost site. Late on, there was a determination that they needed some additional easement for their work. So before you this afternoon is an amendment to that temporary construction workspace easement. The second page is the Exhibit A that shows that additional work or area. And then the balance of the document is Exhibit B, which is the original agreement that you had entered and approved with them at your January 26, 2013 meeting, 23 meeting. I've taken a look at that. I don't see any problem with approving this additional easement area, and I believe Attorney Whitten has also had an opportunity to review this. And it would be our recommendation to approve this amendment so that the NIPSCO can move forward with this work.
I'll make a
AJ,
motion.
how long do they anticipate being in that temporary easement?
One of these, I believe originally, maybe the original agreement may have had a date, Commissioner Munt.
I think it ends in November of 2023.
It's pretty quick. It's a pretty quick turnaround for the work. And I'll defer to Attorney Whitten on that, but I believe that there wasn't a term on this.
I think it's April of this year to November of this year. I think it's a short window.
Yeah, thank you, Dan, I see that now, thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
A motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That's a great shot of our compost site and the windrows. It says what a great job we've done up there. Seriously.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty proud of that site. Is there any other business to come before the commission? If not, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye.